So what's happened with me once I was very young and I go to Europe first time, and I was in Switzerland and traveling by car. I saw by the windows a lot of favelas, and I was quite surprised to see cheap, so poor houses or favelas around. And when I arrived home, I tell to my friends about, and they are all shocked because they are obvious understood was a misunderstanding somewhere. And then they asked me to show them where I have been seeing these favelas. And when I arrived there, they explained me it wasn't favelas, was they just be enough rich to have their own, to rent small gardens, to be pleasure. And I realized that I am in a position to don't understand what's going on.
We were sitting in the car waiting for the rain to stop, and I called up my girlfriend and I said, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think I've just won 600,000 kroners. And she said, how much is that in English? And I said, £60,000. So I was pretty excited by it. Anyway, she said, are you stoned? Which I wasn't expecting. And I then said I'd give her a call back in 10 minutes once I'd definitely confirmed that I'd definitely won. Anyway, after reading the instructions, which were in Danish, the people that I was with started talking about the evil Danes and stuff like that, and it turned out that I hadn't won. At which point I called my girlfriend back, and she said, surprise, surprise. So, and that was excitement over. But for a good 10 minutes there, I did think I'd won genuinely think I'd won £60,000. Oh, and here's a photograph of the scratch card with 3 matching £600,000 figures on it.
And we'd corresponded with this woman, you know, via the telephone and via the internet and whatnot. And we hadn't actually met her in person. Anyway, she moves out of her fabulous apartment for a week so we can live there for an extortionate amount of money, and goes and lives with her mum or something. And on the last day, when she comes to meet us to get the key back, it was really quite shocking. I had to check myself because a weird thing took place. Basically, we stayed in this woman's apartment, and 2 of us, including myself, were obviously people of colour, black people, and one was very tall, gay and Scottish, and I was, you know, small, brown and Yorkshire. And anyway, this obviously hadn't kind of gone into this woman's head that people who she'd spoken to on the phone were people who were black, because when it came to hand the key back, the woman would not shake her hand. It was weird. It was so weird. I mean, earlier in the week, we'd had this brilliant rapport with her. She was chatting, have we done, you know, the Twin Towers? Have we, you know, done Empire State Building, Statue of Liberty, done all these things. Really, really chatty, really, really nice. And when it came to actually having her key back off us, she was just like this, and she wouldn't even shake her hand.
Okay, it was actually a story about the guy here in Leeds who arrived newly in this country. So this guy had people are grabbing you in town, and you just simply fill in a form, and then the day after or a week after you get in a card, so you can have enough money, and it's like a credit card. This guy once went to town and signed a contract, a form, without knowing what is actual form about it. So this guy signed a form to put a direct debit on his account. He realised a week after £1,500 has been taken from his account for a grave in cemetery. So he signed a contract, he put a grave for himself. I suppose it is something misunderstood, so he bought a grave for himself. So he was very shocked.
When I was younger, in my late 20s, I went to a pub in East Leeds, and the tables were very wide, like a beer colour, and it was quite early days for that. And there was an all-girl group playing, and I liked the look of the bass player. She came and sat at our table with her friend, and I stretched my leg out to touch her foot, and I thought I'd made contact with her because she smiled, and her friend next to her smiled as well. And then she got up to play, and my foot was still touching the other foot, and I realised I'd touched the wrong foot, and I spent 2 years with the blonde girl that was sat next to the bass player.